Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's another episode of Who's on the Go Mike podcast. Um, it is the 2nd of July 2023. We were supposed to come live yesterday at 1 o'clock, the 1st of July. Circumstances outside of our control. I wasn't able to be here or be with you. But we are happy to say that we're here and Nedwell is here.
Yep.
So we're all happy
Happy
at
to
this
be
point
here.
in time. Happy to be here to share another hour and a half with you. Yes. Neddy, just let the people know that you are alive and kicking and what's going on
I
with you.
just want to welcome all the viewers and say glad to have you with us today again. We have a lot of information to share with you. That's what we are here to do, just to share information with you so you can call us in and you know we can discuss these information that we are saying and we see where you stand on the issue. And we are just quite happy to have you here with us today, ladies and gentlemen. So you stay tuned and we'll be getting an earful.
Well, as usual, there's always an earful to be heard on
Absolute.
the Go Mike podcast, you know.
Yeah,
But it should be an interesting episode today.
very much so. Yes, it's quite a few things going on. As we spoke of earlier, that the resignation of our comrade over there has been accepted at this point in time.
You're talking about Mr. Sugar Knight's resignation.
Resignation
Yeah.
that so much beef was made about. Oh gosh, we had so much things. It's just a simple resignation, but you know what goes on in Antigua. Antigua is a weird place. You know, it's not like other places. So when you see these things are happening, you just know it's Antigua, and you know it's expected. So my good brother, yes, good to be here with all our listeners today, and I just hope we'll be getting some calls because then we're sharing our views and we are not getting the views of our listeners. So we don't know what you really think of what we are saying. You know, we are here to speak the truth, nevertheless. You know, so whatever we are saying is going to be truthful, and you know, you can decide. You just decide what you want to do with your life, because whatever you decide now is going to take you down the road for a long, long time. It's going to be, that's the Antigua that you're framing and you're setting out, so that's what it's going to be. So make up your mind. You have to decide if you're going to do the right thing or you're going to waver with ignorance. You see, because the way how this place is run at this particular time, you see, there's a lot of ignorance that entails. So, you know, you have to make that decision for yourself and decide how you're going to shape Antigua, the Antigua that you're going to live in. You know, and I really don't want to hear nothing about foreigners and none of this thing, because, you know, you're here, you're living here. And as long as you're living here, you want to have a place that you feel comfortable living in. So regardless of whether you're foreigner or not, wherever you're living, you have to make it comfortable. You know, and it's very uncomfortable at this point in time. Extremely. You look at cost of living right now, God, it went through the ceiling, you know, it's not going to
But
the
they
ceiling.
say it's COVID. COVID is the cause of all of that.
Oh, yeah?
Mm.
These guys can blame every damn thing, you know. Anything they put down and they just blame it. One time, you take the blame. Yeah, no, it's sickening. Yeah, to see that you can walk into a supermarket with $200, $300, $400 and come out with 2 little bags swinging in your hand, something all right.
Yeah. I hear you saying, Neddy, but the government's going to blame COVID for every damn thing that is taking place in this country, you know.
Yeah, that's
And
what
that is one of the things you got to realize, that
and don't
it's
accept.
the COVID excuse where nothing goes well in your country, blame
Yeah.
it on COVID.
For
You
how
understand?
long? For how long? How long?
Boy,
we going to
I
do
don't
this thing?
don't know. I
Yeah?
don't know.
No, but they have to fix this place, man. This place is really out of hand. And so, I don't know. My co-host just said he don't know. We really don't know, but we know what to expect. And we expect that these people are supposed to be doing the things that's supposed to make our lives comfortable. This is what it's all about. This is what representation is all about, you know, ladies and gentlemen. Representation is about the people who are representing you are shaping your living or whatever they're representing you about, they're shaping it in a particular way to benefit you. You know, you can feel comfortable with it. How at this point in time we are so uncomfortable in Antigua? Everything is just out of hand. Cost of living gone up. The place is not being cleaned up. All kind of isms and schisms that you know is just unacceptable. You see, because the funny part about this is that you know the people who are supposed to be doing something about it behaves as if they don't even understand and they don't even recognize that something is happening. But it is. You know, people are suffering in this place, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot of suffering. Say, I tell you. You know what $50 could have bought right now? You're talking about $75, $90. This is how the thing has gone. You know, so it digs into the pocket deep into your pocket. And you know what happens when that happens. You know, you cut back on your purchasing and all that. You know, it's a serious thing going on here in Antigua, ladies and gentlemen. And we need politicians that's going to take a look at what's happening and try to rectify the situation. You know, you just imagine these things are going on and you have representatives that behave as if they don't even notice. Something is wrong, man. This is not right. You know, representatives mean I represent you because you chose me to represent you. You know, now you're representing me, you behave like, well, if I feel like. It's not that so it works. It's there, whatever the situation is that's confronting you, it has to be dealt with. And it's the people who are representing you has to deal with it. But they're more taken up with how a man resigned and all that rather than, you know, your separation anyway. So, what can I say? I just do hope that you people understand what's going on and understand that you have to do something about what's going on if a change is going to be made. Because living like this for the next, how long? I don't see it. You know, you're not going to reach anywhere. This is, to me, this is the final, tradition of, above all that. You know, it's the tradition. This is the last lap, as far as I'm concerned. You know, so let's just see how you people decide to handle the situation. As I said, you know, we're here and we are sharing our views. We'd like to hear yours. Maybe you think Antigua is running good. I don't know. Well, if you think so. But at least let us know and let the rest of the public know that, hey, what these guys are saying. Because to me, whatever, you know, but you're not saying anything. You're not doing anything. We're just wondering who we're speaking to. You know, but we're glad to have you with us anyway because I know you're listening. I know you're here. I see the sharing and I see, yes, the comments and whatever. So I know you're listening, but at least you can call in so we can interact and discuss. You know, so discuss these things. It's necessary, ladies and gentlemen. Antigua need to be fixed. You know, so then it's necessary and we looking forward to hear from you. Give us a call whenever. You know, and if you hear we are saying something that, you know, you're not in agreement with, it should even urge you more to give us a call. And let's discuss. Because iron sharpen iron, my friend. So for your discussion, you know, we'll make, enlighten. It will just enlighten things. So, ladies and gentlemen, good to have you.
Neddy. Neddy, thank you for that. Introduction there, and what can you say? It is a situation where things are not as pleasant, as nice as we like them to be in Antigua and Barbuda. However, we keep fighting. We keep moving forward as best as possible. We're trying to address the issues as they appear.
Yep.
What I'd like to say is that we have a serious issue here now with this boat business. This boat business is not looking very good. You understand?
Yeah, boy. Yeah.
Neddy, the boat business is a big problem.
It certainly is.
You know, and I don't think it has been properly addressed by the government and the way they've handled the matter. And the fallout from it, I believe, is going to affect us. It's going to cut our ass. You know? But we wait and we see. We just cannot continue to sit back and hope for pie in the sky. You understand? And that's the way I look at this whole thing. You're waiting for pie in the sky.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't
and
know.
let's just hope that after a war in Ukraine, that everything will work out fine and that we will get our change. You know, but I
I
think
do
the
hope
prime
so.
minister is counting his
Chickens.
chickens and seeing if he
Eggs
gets
still intact.
a whole pile of money tomorrow. Monday's supposed to be payday.
Well,
Monday the 3rd of July.
That'd be a good thing, but let's see what happens. That's why this thing plays itself out there.
Yeah. Well, boy, certainly shall see.
Yeah.
Yeah, Neddy. So, what's going on with your week, man? How things otherwise?
Well, not a great week. Not too bad either. I'm just keeping on
Hmm.
because you got to be at the end of the road to collect. You just can't drop halfway and figure that no, you have to go. You have to go the distance there. And I'm determined to go the distance. It's not easy out there right now, as I told you, cost of living gone crazy and all that. So, it's really nothing easy going on. But I'm managing, and I'm glad. I'd be quite happy. Happy if something drops where I can, fit in and do something as well, because I think I'm still active enough. Even though they say I'm too old to work there.
Hell no.
They said I was too old to work, so. But I think I'm still active enough, so I look forward to certain things. I fill out forms and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
So, sometimes that comes into play. And, not too bad a week last week. Let me
Boy,
tell you.
I hear you, Neddy. One of the things I wanted to talk about, we know we have this boat auction that
Yeah.
was supposed to have taken place.
Yeah.
And in this boat auction, we're still awaiting to hear what is the outcome of this auction. The way I see this boat auction is that it could be a boon, and it could be a boom, and it could be a bust.
I wonder
And-
which it will be.
With the sort of bust that is coming up, I am hoping and praying
Yeah.
that it isn't a bust, because I don't believe Antigua and Barbuda can afford it. I don't believe that we can afford litigation, judicial review. What I have a feeling may happen, it's possible that the Prime Minister will get paid tomorrow and all. So we don't really have a... When you get money and you don't have a say in how it's spent, is it really yours? So when he say, I didn't want to say we getting paid. I said the Prime Minister is supposed to get paid tomorrow. You understand? And from there, we will see what they do with their money, because I don't find it is our money.
Yeah.
I'm just having a problem to equate that say going forward and the people of Antigua and Barbuda benefited under this administration. At the end of the day, what you do see is that it is possible that they will get paid tomorrow. However, even though the judge has dismissed the injunction in the High Court, they can appeal it, the judge's decision, or what they may most likely do is not to take on the injunction immediacy of it. You've sold the boat, fine, but we are saying you still have a case against what you did was illegal, and you'll have a court case, a judicial review of what the government did, and God forbid that they are found correct,
And that would be
and we are
blameless.
liable.
That's right.
Because, as I've said on the program before, it's not so much the figure or the auction figure that the boat was sold at $67 million. It is what the cost, the value of the boat is.
That's true.
So when you say, oh, it's $67 million, that boat is worth about $180 million.
Yeah, 120
Right?
million.
And if they are suing us, they're going to sue at the value of the boat, not the auction price. You understand what I'm saying, Eddie?
Yep.
So
yep.
what we're saying,
Very
okay,
good.
then we could manage some cost and interest on 67. You may have a cost and interest on about 180, 150 at least. You understand? So that's why I hope and pray that we don't go from boom,
Yes.
getting $67 million tomorrow to
bust.
bust that whenever the whole court proceedings take
Mm-hmm.
effect and works its way through the court and the time and the trial is
All
heard
that,
and a,
so that's
judicial,
expense,
a
costs.
judgment is rendered.
That's right.
That is not found that Antigua and Barbuda is liable for more than $67 million.
Wow.
You understand? So that's where I want to be. I don't want to
That'll
go
be
over it
horrific.
too much because at the end of the day, it don't happen.
Yeah, but these are possibilities.
We were
that,
warned. We have warned the
Uh-huh.
people of Antigua and Barbuda to be aware, and not to support this foolishness. A lot of them are looking for a payday.
Well, wonder who's paid in the final analysis, because then if the judge finds in the for
The other side?
plaintiff did, that's right, the
Mhm.
plaintiff, we mean some serious hot water finding that extra money. That extra how much money? Because you sell about 180 something. You're supposed to start your bidding way higher than 60 something thousand.
Well, to me, it sounded like if it was a fire sale. That's what
Oh,
I- that sounded to me like if it was a fire
oh,
sale.
man, that's some crazy
That
stuff,
don't
man.
sound to be as anything that you really,
67
really,
million from 180 million,
yeah.
over 120 million dollars.
Well, the excuse that they gave
set
was that
aside.
the hurricane season was coming and then had to get the boat out of the harbor. It might lick up against the docks with the high
So
waves
take
and
it-
the oil in the harbor and the affect our tourism product and blah blah blue and all of that and in between.
So take it somewhere else. Take it to the Virgin Islands. Take it somewhere.
Take it somewhere where if
Yeah,
you see the
understand.
Kasama come to Antigua,
That's right.
take
just-
that down to St. Lucia. If
And
the
you
Kasama
just-
come down to St. Lucia, you're all right in
If you're
Antigua.
so concerned, and
Yeah.
then you just build.
If you happen to
whoever
come
you
to
have to
Antigua,
build.
take it up to the Bahamas.
Thank you so
avoid,
much.
avoid,
You
whatever.
understand?
But it is what it is, Neddy.
Yeah.
We'll wait and hear how this plays out. This is like Russian roulette to me, man. This is
it's
just
with
like
the Russians.
you
Can you
may,
imagine?
yeah, the Russians. It's always the Russians.
The Russian roulette with the Russians. Who best? Oh, Lord, help us.
Hey, we'll see. Listen, all I can say is that we'll see how that one there plays
Yeah,
out.
tell you.
What more can you say?
I tell you.
What more
We
can you
will.
say?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure we are.
Yeah.
It's hard, but you see Antigua people, it's just like it doesn't go through their head what's going on there. And it's highly necessary that you let these things go through your brain cells and then so forth, so you can decide if it sounds right or if it doesn't sound right. You know, Antigua people, they just like they swallow everything there. And this is what's bothering me, because we come here week after week after week, we're trying to let the people understand. It doesn't run like that. Things doesn't drop into your lap like that. You have to put out to get, you know, and they're not resisting nothing. They're not doing nothing. They're just like, well, that's how it goes. It's so acceptable in their circles where I don't know what's going to happen to Antigua if we continue like this. It's not nice.
That is the truth.
Yeah, we can't continue like this way. People, you have to stand up for something. There's a right and there's a wrong. And then, you know, all of a sudden you just discard, well, how Chow right. If you wrong, he just right. And if me right, he double right. And, you know, it doesn't work like that. You know, you see the right or wrong. And, you know, you can't go the wrong way. The wrong way taking you down the wrong road, you're going to end up somewhere that you doesn't like anyway. So, you decide what you're going to do with yourself, ladies and gentlemen. We come here week after week. We're trying to tell you what's going on. We're trying to show you the ills of what's happening, and you could behave as if, well, it's all right. We don't care. We can still live. If we can still live, it's all right with me. But rest assured, somewhere down the road, you know, you will see that it wasn't the right way to go. You know, that part of the road isn't the right road. So, ladies and gentlemen, keep on keeping on. And I tell you, believe in yourself. Stop believing in politicians. Because these politicians, they're just looking out for themselves. You better
Well,
believe that.
That is the
No,
honest truth. I
that's
mean,
right.
there's no denying what you're
Yeah.
saying. No denying what you're saying.
That's
yeah.
all at all. You know, it's all about them. You know, I just don't know, man. But let's see what's happening.
Yeah. Hear loud and clear, Neddy.
Yeah.
Well, the way I see this whole thing happening now, it's sold at the right time during the height of the carnival season. I don't believe Carnival is really the last week in July, the first week in August. I believe Carnival right now, the way our culture is set up, is that Carnival is really the
Yeah.
month or two before Carnival, with all the fests that are
Before
going
the
on.
celebration out.
You know, and by the time Carnival comes off now, man so broke, a man so tired, a man so drunk, still drunk from the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
The whole carnival is a thing of the past,
Like the
the
last
traditional
social
part of the carnival. You understand? So I believe really it's a perfect time to really go and sell a boat that you really don't have
Put
no
some
good
dollars
title to the boat. You understand?
Oh,
The boat is abandoned, we heard, but the boat apparently has several owners.
yeah.
Individuals, some oligarch's daughter, some company that has shares in the boat. I've known people that said that they've been on that boat before several years ago, and that boat was out at Falmouth before all of this war in Ukraine and all that stuff. So you're going on the boat come in the harbor, the boat is taking people out and entertaining, whining and dining people on it. But for some reason, we don't know who owns the boat.
The owner is.
I mean, it's a little strange that it's
silly.
not a boat that is known
Silly.
to Falmouth. And you bring a boat, it's showing its flag. I guess you have to show what's on the boat and documents and so on.
All right.
Nobody,
Yeah.
all of a sudden, nobody knows who owns the boat.
Yeah.
But it was here before, and people were dining and taking
Having
a
a
ride
good-
around.
great time.
Not even a great time on that
Great
damn boat.
time on that stuff.
Boy, when the good times going,
We
Neddy,
understand what you're talking
nobody
about.
call you, and nobody call me.
Me?
You understand? But it is what it is, Neddy.
Yeah.
We'll see how that one with the boat business plays out. There's another issue this week that came up about juveniles and young girls missing and situations where the young people and them just seem like if they're gone, they're gone buck wild.
Right, I'm telling
They're
you,
they're just not playing around.
not at all, man.
It is a situation where our society really has not catered for young people, and we said so on our podcast on several occasions before. Because when you go into the city of St. John's, and you know St. John's as a parish is the most populous of all the parishes, the 6 parishes in Antigua and Barbuda. When you go into St. John's Parish, and you look in so far the town of St. John's, you look around, you really don't see anything that caters for children.
Nothing.
Where the park, where the playing fields.
Nothing. Nothing. Absolutely.
You have Yasco up there. Is usually the athletes who run running right now. You can't really go up there and stretch your legs. I used to run up at Asco. 1 or 2 times them boys are running 100 meters and they graze me or hit into me and so on, you know.
It's a hit.
You understand?
Yeah.
So I moved up to, when I was really running on a constant on a
Yeah.
weekly basis, I went up to the stadium, Vivian Richards Stadium. You have
Okay,
more
great.
space,
Yeah, I know
wider
that.
roads and so on. So you don't get hit or, potentially cause a
Bumped and-
problem. Yeah.
Yeah, the
But-
bump you're doing.
That is all the way up there. That is what
Yeah.
Saint Peter's. I think that's not sound. I think that's Saint Peter's up there. You know? Yeah. But in St. John's itself, it's very lacking for catering for children, and even we call ourselves a tourist destination. You have to wonder what
No, it's
children,
not
people who
accommodating.
tour or take a vacation, travel with their family. What do you have? Where are the parks where these tourists to come and visit and see all our flora and fauna? Flora and fauna. Where are the cricket fields? Since we claim we had the best cricketer in the world and the best sportsmen in
That's
cricket,
a joke.
where
That's
where
a
where,
joke.
where are you doing
That's
the
a
Rising
joke.
Sun ground or go around? I don't understand that we have a minister of sports, but
do?
yeah, I think that's the same. Is that Daryl Matthew over that still?
Oh,
I think it's Daryl over that still now.
that's what he
On
is?
the other ministries that he took on.
Sports?
Yeah.
You see what's happening in sports? over
It's
there?
non-existent. I like Daryl Matthew to tell
So we
Antigua
don't have
people
no minister
where's the
of
sports facilities in St. John's Rural South.
This
Because
is
to
a
be honest
joke,
with you,
boy.
boy, wow, that
This
is
a
just
joke.
that is just ridiculous what is happening there.
What's the projection ahead for what the plan? There's no plan. There's just nothing. We just the word sports and that's it.
Yeah, but it appears to be a situation where they never really catered for it. They never really catered for it because I remember seeing
Look.
that field when I came back home, and you had the mahogany trees up there
Crazy.
after botanical garden, and you had
Yeah,
that
man.
cricket field, and you had people coming up after work sitting down on those green painted benches.
Well put in place.
And
yeah.
and you just sit down there, catch some breeze, and then you eventually
I
take your
mean-
bus to go home.
Yeah.
Why can't that be something that we maintain? Why wasn't that considered instead of parking a
Adequate.
car,
Adequate.
right? how about parking the individual, distress
sit
them
in
after a
there.
day of work? They sit around, they have a couple of conversations,
That's what it
and
is.
go and sit down there and watch a couple of games,
Yeah.
young people playing games, and so
Yeah.
even take a part also. We don't have anything to distress society. That's why I personally be ranting and people so damn uptight. And they never used to be like this now.
No.
They never used to be like this.
They're
They're
extremely
very
yeah.
aggressive. The slightest thing just sets you off.
It triggers them.
It triggers you off,
Yeah,
and,
it
and
triggers
these are things in industrialized in first world countries,
God.
developed countries. They have their parks, they have their playing fields, they have places will distress the human after a day of work, and you're all tied up to perform
Just
for your
unwind.
bosses, your superiors.
That's
You can
right.
go up to the botanical gardens and you look around and you
And
sit
unwind.
down and
Just
unwind.
Yeah,
We
man.
we don't cater for those things in
Not at
Antigua.
all, not at
We
all,
cater for
man.
cars to park themselves.
Can you imagine?
Honestly, Neddy, when you think of St. John's and you think of the playing fields, the only playing field I can think of, other than King George V playing field, well, everything happens down there. I can't say it's a
just
football
about.
field. Every damn thing goes there. You understand?
Everything. Yeah.
I think of that one there in where is it? Ovals, the little triangular thing there coming up
Okay.
away. Where H.C. Grant used to be,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
The Catholic Church at the bottom there, coming up there from
Right. Yeah.
what is All Saints Road, I believe.
Yeah.
All Saints Road. You come up there, the Catholic Church is on the left, and then you bump into that triangular
The
thing.
triangle thing. But
I mean, the thing is not kept.
there's nothing.
I mean, I really want my kid going in there. I mean, you might get scratched or you get some rusty
Well,
something and give you some tetanus or something like that.
You better believe that.
You know?
I understand.
So we don't
Especially
really
in
have
this place.
parks in Antigua. 108 square mile island that is supposed to be a tourist attraction, more so than any other parish. St. John's, which is a capital where they bragged about they getting these huge yachts are coming in. You know, remember they supposed the mega
Mega,
class
yeah,
yachts
that's
and
what
the,
they say,
the
the
fifth
megas.
berth and how large these.
Yeah,
When the
the
people
megas.
come off the boat, what are they supposed to do?
Yeah. Very
What are you
interesting.
enticing them to in Antigua? I don't understand what is so hard to say. Because if you say you have 6 parishes, but you have one that is supposed to be the jewel in the crown and supposed to be able to represent Antigua in its best, at its best,
That's right.
right?
Yeah.
And the tourists are coming off in these huge mega cities and coming off into the side. You want them to spend time and to think where can they go and see a nice botanical garden?
You understand, what you need to see. You go sit in the park and relax, and it's nothing like that in Antigua.
Yeah.
But you say this, and I'm not knocking no particular part here, none of this. But the same car park up there,
Mhm.
it's just so sickening. Because one, do you know during that time that car park was being built,
Mhm.
Anthony Stewart from St. John's Development, he was the how we go, executive director
Yeah.
of St. John's Development.
Okay.
And we decided that we were going to put parking meters
Yeah. Okay.
on the sidewalks and stuff like that. in
Well,
St.
you're talking
John's.
about this is about what? This is about 15, 20 years ago.
Just about the same time the parking, that big monstrous
Monstrous
building
thing went
that
into
was
place.
went
Okay.
up.
Okay.
Same period of time.
Mm.
And where I don't know, Anthony Stewart, they set up a
Yeah.
delegation went to I think it was Puerto Rico, one of those places.
Mm.
Miami.
Miami.
Yes.
Okay.
And they even brought back a couple of templates and whatnot that we're going to need, and we all of a sudden that went on the
That get scratched.
scratch and some
Not-
big
not-
monsters. Now you tell me we should have been more profitable here.
Yeah.
You all you'd have to do put down the parking meters. You set up a little booth.
Mm.
They come and they get their ticket or whatever they put into the parking meter,
Yeah.
and you make your money. All that money they would not have to be spent there.
Yeah.
That millions that they're talking about, that they spend to put up that building that is not being used,
Mhm.
would not be spent. And you'll be making money. You'll be still making money today.
Oh yeah.
How I don't understand how we think here. How does that work? It's the opposite of what it's supposed to be and what is going to benefit you and profit you. You do.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
understand how? I don't know where. So I just watch it, and as I say, see how it plays itself out.
But you hear the government would say No, their natural reaction. It's not us. It's a problem administration that put up the car park.
Yeah.
What I remember about that car park, right, is that when they were so shocked they lost the 2004 election, UPP came into office. They were so shocked that they won the election,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh
For a long time.
shit! Why you know?" They had no plan.
No.
They had a lot of
Got to be honest.
the thief. You're going to lock them up. You're going to do this and all this shit. Never did. They had no plan, and then they couldn't even lock up anybody.
Yeah.
You know?
Explain this.
Just pure nonsense. So they came into office, and then we're gonna remember they're supposed to have a sewer system for St. John's.
Yeah.
And then they said they were going to cover the streets, the gutter, the filthy gutter streets. They did that, but what happened to that now? Another same gutter, they have a
Turn filthy again.
ton filthy again, and they have to
Turn
broke up
filthy
and let
Just
it
imagine.
air out in the public.
It's so silly.
But then after that, the main project, which is pretty sad, the first premier project that the UPP brought when it's 2005, the car park. They're going to build a car park to solve the over congestion of cars in St. John's. I was like, okay.
Would never do that.
And then you build a car park, and then you have it up at East Street. Then you have all the workers leaving work at 2 o'clock on a Fridays, and all the cars are parked in the car park. Then you have East Bus Station. Then you have High Street. Then you have East Street, which is one of the busiest streets in St. John's because of the bus station, right? And everybody's leaving work at 2 o'clock. Whether it's government workers or individuals just skipping home, children are getting home from school. What the hell is going to happen? Tell me.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you.
I think you stay at work for another hour or two,
Let me
and then you wait
ask
until
you
all of that
something.
confusion leave
Let me
because
ask you
you now get out of East Street. Do you know how
Yeah.
East Street is so congested
That's
right now with
right.
those traffic lights?
Oh, you
you have
mean-
the traffic light there by Queen Elizabeth Highway.
That's right.
And then that
Yeah.
slowdown thing, and you hang a
APOA.
right, and then you have that by APOA,
that
right?
would be- and
Then you
then
have the
right
roundabout,
there.
and then there's the triangle right
Oh, you
there.
mean-
Then you have the East Bus
What?
Station. Now you're going to
God.
compound that by having a car park. So everybody compete.
But let me ask you something. Don't you think it would be more popular if you want to alleviate the congestion and
Yeah.
all that? You didn't have to build nothing. You just mark out the damn thing. You just concrete. You have a concrete flooring,
Yeah.
and you just mark it out. One car here, one. Why you needed to build that monstrous building there to park cars in? I don't understand. People can park. I mean, if you go down Fibre, there,
Yeah.
they have a car park down there.
Hmm.
It's not a building. It's an area
Yeah.
where they mark out car 1, car 2, car 10, and you know how much cars in your place and all that. So why you needed that building to have a car park there?
From my knowledge, really, Neddy.
I don't understand.
Neddy, I can't answer your question,
You didn't
right?
need
But
that.
from my knowledge of what transpired there, it was supposed to be a situation where they were supposed to have 4 car parks on the outskirts of the town of St. John's, because they realized that if you have it so congested in the center right there, remember, East Street is really the heart of St. John's, you know.
Yeah, just
And
about.
Market Street is probably the busiest transaction
but
going
East
on.
Street is.
But the traffic,
Yes,
the
on East
traffic
Street.
on East Street rivals Market Street on any day coming up from the
That's
market.
Anyway, in Antigua,
It,
that's
tri-
right.
it rivals it because of the
That's
East
right.
Bus Station, because of the way the layout of the land with the
That's right.
cenotaph, the triangle there, right? And then you have those government ministries, you have APOA, where everybody going to crossing the street or parking the car. Right now, the hardest thing to find parking is to get to APA right there
That's right.
on East Street.
Yeah.
Boy, sometimes I just park up by fire station now
Yeah, the way up there,
and walk down. I just pull up the
Yeah.
Vitara. So
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
pull off
sure.
on the side there
Yeah,
facing
yeah.
the archives or so on and just walk down.
Yeah, you have to.
You
It's
know?
way up there
So
sometimes.
you really wonder at the end of the day, the plan was for what? For more chaos?
You have to be. Yeah. Look and see the end result.
Neddy, it
Look
had,
at the end result there.
yeah.
They don't listen, man.
It had the plan had to been for more chaos because it's
Yeah.
not really understanding what the plan was.
I don't know what that
But then
is all
again,
about.
you have the Labour Party who got in there 2014.
Yeah.
How did they solve that problem? I heard they had before the COVID came, 2020, they're saying the guy there, Baba Hadid, who is now an ambassador. They just made an ambassador this week. He was supposed to finish off the car park so that we could all.
Finish off. They have to break down that thing.
No, they said they could finish it off
And do what?
and go into the car park and make money.
Yeah.
Mm.
But just tell you, for a car park, you really don't need no building like that. You just need the area. And you mark it
Well,
out
he done
ready to
build
go.
a good amount of money, done spend.
Eh?
The whole idea now is for them to.
Find something else to put in it then to a car park. Why you need to put cars in that? Find just look here. This whole thing is just not making no sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. But
It don't make no
when you do not understand why government in Antigua and Barbuda makes these decisions,
Damn,
just think
boy.
to yourself: if I were a crook, how would I run Antigua and Barbuda?
Okay.
Think about it like that, and then you'll understand why
see exactly
things
what's
are the way they are in Antigua and Barbuda
happening.
today.
See what's happening.
You understand? That's the best way. That's my rule of thumb
I hear you.
for how
I hear you,
to
brother.
understand why is this happening. Isn't there any common sense? You know? Yeah, Neddy.
It's already gone that way, so.
It's already gone south.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so let's
that's
see
another
what's
one. So we got the boat.
Let's see what-
We got the car park issue to
What
go
to think.
deal with. And this really started when we were talking about the juveniles in our society
Yeah.
and how we're going to deal with them. And as I said, it is a problem. Neddy and I have gone around in St. John's, Rural South, in Otters and see kids playing on the street and the
Yeah.
ball going in the gutter,
No,
the dirty
yeah.
gutter water.
That's right, 'cause they
And
have
then
no
they
way
have to
to
just
go.
like wipe it on the grass
Go again.
and go again.
Can you
You don't know
imagine?
about the ringworm. You don't know
Oh.
about whatever disease or bacteria you could get by
Right.
picking up that ball and touching their face. And
In
they're
these
children.
times- In these times, though,
You
that's
know?
not important because when we were coming up, we were quite aware.
Yeah.
We were quite, Not like now. No, we're like, well with it. You know?
Yeah.
know?
Penicillin now. Everything
yeah,
easy,
but-
man. Just get 2 injections and you're good to go.
God
Ringworm or ringworm not.
God clear. Well, what a thing. This is a serious thing.
Yeah.
Can we say, though?
Yeah, but overall, you just have to wonder about the layout of St. John's. I mean, the sidewalks. I don't understand why, after administration that has been in office in 2014, and that you said you could do so much better than the UPP, and you have their failings with those sidewalks and those open. You know, they had the grid on them, the iron red plates
Yeah.
and them on top, and a lot of
Yeah.
those are broken down at the sides. Like the cement was inferior, so
Yeah.
they break down and
Chip
go
up
down.
and yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and or sometimes they lost. I think maybe even some people steal them or something. I just don't see. Some of them were never covered, to be honest. You know, but some of them I see them missing now. So you wonder what really taking place in this place. You know, that you're a tourist destination, but you could injure people
Yep.
seriously, and they have been
Could?
injured. They have been injured.
Oh,
they
it's
have been.
happened. It's
They
happened.
have been. But you're just wondering how many years now
Yeah.
since those sidewalks were put down, that a new administration has taken over, and there's no resolution of something as important as the Antiguans are going to their capital and they're falling in holes. The tourists which you're trying
Hurting
to
themselves.
not only for them to come to Antigua, but to come back again. A repeat tourists.
Come here and get hurt.
Come here and get hurt. Who the hell coming to Antigua again? I went to Antigua and I walking down and market and I broke my foot.
Yeah.
Is that what you're gonna carry home as a
Yeah.
souvenir?
Oh, you
The
mean,
cast on your
that's
foot,
how I spent
or
my
the piece of
vacation.
steel in
That's-
your foot,
That's how I spent my vacation.
all the pins they have to put in your foot.
Yeah.
You know, and you wonder when things will change because you know there's cash strap and the government they'll brag and talk a whole pile of nonsense of how they're an economic powerhouse. You know,
How can they be cash strapped? Yeah.
but
We sell the CIP business.
Mm-hmm.
So much money we say we made. Yeah. We made a ton of money. You see any explanation of how it was spent and anything like that? So as far as we're concerned, it's still there.
yeah,
Because nothing been spent, nothing been happening in Antigua. The place is just still as filthy. Nothing has been upgraded. Yeah, so that money has to be there. So how can they be cash strapped there?
Neddy, your guess?
Until you explain to me
Your
where
guess is
the money
as good as my
gone,
guess.
Until they explain to the nation where the money gone, as far as I'm concerned, it has to be still there.
Yeah.
It has to be still there.
You're fooling yourself, buddy. You're
Yeah,
fooling,
yeah.
that is done gone, boy.
Come with me, there's
Clean.
no explanation to the people about you. How they say,
That they
oh,
gone clean.
clean. What is this here? Yeah, man. Compared to that, man. What do you mean gone clean? So, taxpayers' money spent? Eh? You
Oh.
just disappear, no explanation, and so, okay, so you go. And then we don't have any. We dipped all
Did
the
you
water.
hear me? All I'm telling you, right? All I'm telling you is one thing. Gone clean.
Yeah, well,
Non-existent. Gone. Okay?
I can't see it, but I can't see it.
You mightn't see it, but
That's God.
you mightn't see it, but that is the
The
reality
reality of it,
the reality of it all.
All right.
The sad reality of it all, buddy.
Real sad, brother.
You know?
Real sad.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
boy, Neddy, Carnival is coming off now. Everybody
Yeah.
appears to be gearing up or focused on that. It's summertime,
Mhm.
and everybody wants to wink up in the streets and
Oh, you know that
get
you
on
know,
bad.
half naked and if
So-
not naked.
what we're going to do, Neddy, is we're going to have another 2 or so episodes.
Yeah.
It's about mid-July, and then we're going to cut off,
Give
and
them
come back
the-
again.
Give them the
End of August,
space.
early September.
Yeah.
The way I see the situation is that it's a perfect time for them to do whatever they need to do.
Oh yeah.
To
I want to.
let it slide on to the people in them
Uh-huh.
noses, and they can say, "Oh, we were hanging out at carnival or party, playing mass, so therefore we didn't know
They noticed.
what was taking place."
They noticed.
But they know better. They know better. But
Of
even
course
I
they
think
know
right now
better.
the Antiguans like to fool themselves,
Big time.
fool themselves and make believe and act like if they are not liable or responsible
Mhm.
for what is taking place in this country.
Mhm.
So, what can you say?
It's not nice because you have to live among, but
Yeah.
it's serious.
That's what we're dealing with at this point in time. Neddy, I believe that we're gonna have a very good tourist season. I strongly believe that it is the first carnival season, I should say. I believe that it's gonna be the first carnival season since they had the COVID 2020 because we didn't have anything 2020. Then after 2020, we had the lockdown of carnival, because of the rise in cases of COVID, and I think that 2020 was no
we didn't have no celebration.
2021 was no carnival either. 2022 last they had a limited.
Some little
Yeah,
something,
they just had like 4 or 5 events.
Little skirmish or something.
So this is the first one where they're going all out, and they're gonna have all the people. They're going all out to attract the tourists. I believe Antiguans are gonna come home in droves, and then we even hearing that Earpiece is bringing in the Africans for carnival. I mean, Jesus, man.
More Africans.
If you want to do wrong, if you want for thief, right? Light and fire burn down somebody's house and then go thief. Go in another direction, thief.
Yeah,
Everybody gone over in that direction.
That's right. They
Right?
divert
What I used to hear in the history books is that when people were being hung in the United Kingdom or in France during the French Revolution, the people chose that time to really pick people's pocket. Okay, everybody look for man head for get a lick off or get
that's
hung
right.
or strung.
And you
Go
don't
over there,
get-
you over there, you have your attention focused there.
That's right.
And they gone in there and say you not feel for your pocket
Easy.
or your
Yeah,
wallet
they
or whatever you
will
carry
cover
back
your
in them
pocket.
days.
That's
So
right.
the situation is what we have here in Antigua and Barbuda
Apologize,
is
sir.
the government, we know what they are and what they're all about.
Yeah.
And they have chosen this period of time to have boat being sold. They can't get out of Falmataba up to now.
Can you imagine?
Having Nigerian or Africans. And I don't even know, are these now the rich Africans?
Might just be.
Yeah. So the rich Africans are gonna come now and celebrate carnival.
So they-
I don't know where they heard that this carnival is so good. Where did we have any cultural exchanges with Western Africa for them to say yes, we want to play part in that? Because I'm not aware of it. We have an ambassador to the African Union, Hesse,
Non-existent.
When did we ever carry on some go to Western Africa and have some
We-
sort of cultural exhibition of what we have to offer?
Yeah.
Show them pictures, show them dances, have people dressed in nice, colorful uniforms and dance troops and musicians, and go to West Coast Africa and tell them this is our
Yeah.
product. This is what when you come to Antigua,
Yeah.
you will be experiencing.
We just had an episode of a whole lot of ignorance going on with Africans coming into Antigua. Where was Mr. Hesse?
Yeah,
Do you see any sign of Mr. Hesse?
boy.
We have an ambassador there. Do we have an ambassador? That
Hey.
doesn't make no sense. Yeah, man. Yeah.
You see what
With all
happened.
this. People
And I
died.
think I've mentioned this before. I remember Carnival Bowl, late 70s, early 80s. We had hula hoop dancers from Hawaii coming on the stage at the Carnival Bowl. I remember seeing African dancers
Okay.
in the straws
Yeah,
and so on.
I remember that.
And you remember that?
Yeah.
Boy,
Yeah.
nice boy.
Oh, we hear
And
him
boy,
in
they
the-
doing anything on stage. Boy, I said,
Ah, yeah.
I
They
boy, I was
knew
only 10 years old, boy, but I'm like,
they knew what they were
lovely.
doing. They tell
You know,
that
and
they
you
do.
saw these
How you
cultural
mean, man?
exchange.
How
Now,
you mean, man?
this was probably just
Terrific.
before independence or
Yeah.
just after, but we had cultural exchanges with these places.
Yeah.
I know we have triple the amount of ambassadors that we had back then, but
Yeah.
we're not getting any exchange with
Nothing,
anything.
nothing.
Nothing is
No
being exchanged.
feedback, no nothing.
You know, and it is a concern because at the end of the day, you're now saying that you just pick up a plane or get in an agreement with somebody and tell them go and get some Africans to come on vacation.
And then they go,
What are they coming to vacation for? That's why I don't believe it. You haven't sold the product, right? But they're coming on vacation. Just like the last set.
yeah.
The last set were expecting to get to South America, to get up to America. That is what they got on that damn plane for. Not for no stupid vacation in Antigua by wealthy tourists.
That's what many of them got drowned for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Many
I'm
got drowned.
Yeah, they had out to Antigua trying to get.
It's not good to
Yeah.
laugh of it, but
Yeah,
it
but
just
that's what
make light
happened.
of the
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah, that's true.
That they were in their desperate state, got
Desperate
went
is
to a
the
place where they did
That's
not
right.
know to get to another place in South America, to get to America, USA.
Yeah.
And in that process, you went on a flimsy boat and you died.
Lost their life.
You see?
right there.
Look at what happened in that boat in there in Greece. Or that boat, they had that boat about 3 weeks ago that was overloaded with migrants. And all the Coast Guards see them and see the state of that boat. Nobody come out to help.
Yeah.
And what's going on here? They make it such a big outroar. Yes, it's not the same numbers. But the alarming part is that while that may happen every couple of weeks over there in the Mediterranean,
Right.
right? That hasn't happened in Antigua to any great extent before. Very unpublicized if it does.
No.
So I think that the shock factor, the awe of
really
how did we get to be a part of this?
Yeah,
How
what
did this
really
come down to be that all of a sudden now Antigua is being used as a human trafficking hub?
For human
Prime Minister
trafficking.
says he doesn't want any inquiry on the matter because they have to provide the proof before you have an inquiry. I don't know how you do that. You know? Don't know how you do that.
Look, this is crazy. People just sit back. You see, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we're talking about. This is totally unacceptable. And we come here week after week, we're telling you those things, and like, it doesn't even phase you one bit that is something. You have a situation that the nation needs to know exactly what's happening and why a bunch of people came in on us. We weren't even uninformed and all that. And the Prime Minister is saying to the people that wants an inquiry that they have to come up with a proof. Proof of what? That's where you go and have the inquiry. You have an inquiry to get the proof of what you believe. You believe certain things and you say, look, I just don't even want to go there until I get the proof. So the proof is when you have an inquiry, not you have an inquiry, you have the proof to have an inquiry. And we, the people, just sitting back and allow these things to happen. It can only get worse, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you this, it's not going to get better. So until we do something about it, the situation is going to erode itself until it gets worse. So you decide what you're doing at this point. You can't say you didn't have the forum that comes out here and tell you week after week and what's going on. So if you allow this to go, it's because you like it so. Hmm? Don't you think so? So,
Yo,
uh,
listen, man. It's the
yeah.
time of the year. It's carnival. It's time where everybody is going
All
to
right.
be having fun.
So after carnival,
After carnival.
I expect to hear from the people. I expect them to come with a plan as well, so we can discuss and decide how we're going to shape this thing in Antigua that we feel comfortable living in. It's the whole episode of what I think it should be. You know, you can't live in a country just you're not an island that you're not even too comfortable living in. The politicians just giving you a hard time. You can't get the necessities. Water is scarce, even though it was supposed to be 14 days before the bad situation of water become a thing of the past. And all these good things that were promised, nothing ever materialized. But we're still here. We're still willing to give those guys a chance. Give them a chance to do what? The same? Because that's what's going to happen. They just take you for granted at this point in time.
Very much so, Neddy.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Oh boy.
It's a sad reality that we are facing here in Antigua and
extremely
Barbuda.
sad, extremely sad.
you know.
Yeah, it's extremely
But
sad.
you know what? We have to work in the environment that we're in
Mhm.
to say that we want better people.
That's right.
It is what it is. This is the caliber of the people that we have.
Mhm.
We have got to work with what we have. We got to swim in a bowl that isn't filled with clean water. It is dirty gutter water that we're swimming
Yeah.
in. And that is the hard and frustrating part because you'd figure that the people who are in the bowl with us, the other fish,
That's right.
would want a clean bowl. But a lot of them, from what I'm seeing, appreciate the dirty, mucky.
It's acceptable. It's
And
acceptable.
that's the only way that I can really
It's true.
make the analogy, you know.
Look at it. And
Yeah.
You see it's true. Exactly what it is.
Boy, oh boy.
You think that the dirty water would mean something to them, but it doesn't.
There's an article in Antigua breaking news. Let me read it here now. Daughter of Russian oligarch is challenging Antigua's right to auction off her father's seized super yacht Alpha Nero. The daughter of the Russian, it says Daily Mail. I don't know what that means. Is that from, I wonder if it's with Daily Mail I think that's in the United Kingdom. The daughter of the Russian oligarch who owned the super yacht Alpha Nero is challenging Antigua's government right to sell the vessel, which it did to former Google CEO Eric Schmidt in an auction of the blinged out vessel. Let me see. Schmidt 68 won the 67.6 million prize after it was abandoned in Antigua by fertilizer mogul Andrei Gouvet last year, seized following the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Now the Antiguan government must resolve this situation before it can move forward with any buyer, including billionaire Schmidt, according to a source close to the situation. The massive ship, which has been languishing in the Caribbean islands since the start of the conflict, is amongst the most luxurious in the world. You hear that? And boasts the first ever swimming pool that can turn into a helipad. I heard about that, Neddy. I heard that's the part I like. The best. That the must like the swimming pool turns over. You know, that
Yeah.
sounds like a song in an octopusy.
James
James
Bond,
Bond. You know,
yeah,
like
James Bond.
Mr. Commander Bond is going to
Yes.
land in another 15 minutes. Make sure just press the button. And,
Oh, you mean?
you know,
Bond is
good
landing.
afternoon, Commander Bond.
Yes. Yes.
Hey, this is all like out of a James Bond movie,
It
boy.
certainly does.
Somebody get hit now.
Ah.
Somebody get hit.
That's how it
The first ever helipad that is converts to a pool.
That's a pool
Whichever way, the
converted.
helipad convert to the pool,
And the
or the
pool
pool convert to the helipad. But it's the first in the world.
What a
Right?
thing.
It was also notably built by Oceanco, the same company that constructed the 500 million super yacht recently enjoyed by Jeff Bezos and Laura Sanchez. Built in 2007, the 267-foot vessel was initially listed for sale in 2009 for a titanic price tag of $190 million. So that is 2009. So that is about what? That is about
24 years ago.
No, 2009, man. 2009. 2009 is about, what's that? That's about 12 years ago.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, 2009, 2009, somewhere around there. You can't do the math right now. We can't take that down. So okay, so if that's some depreciation now from that. Okay, let's say 150. Just because of a nice and simple figure. The ship can host 12 guests and up to 26 crew members, and is fitted with amenities appropriate for a billionaire. The master bedroom fills the entire front of the top deck, offering panoramic ocean views, while the inside is decked out in lavish designs. Inside the yacht, each room is said to have a separate coordinated design. A saloon bar on the upper deck is palatial, while the main deck saloon boasts a more modern look. A private gym with 180-degree views is also on the top floor, and a lower deck also has a health and beauty spa.
Yes, sir.
The Alfa Nero was described by its manufacturer Oceanico as one of the world's most iconic and highly awarded yachts.
Yes, sir.
Schmidt bought the boat after it was left abandoned in Antigua by Gervais last year, following sanctions by the U.S. Treasury. U.S. officials claim Gervais, who owns one of the largest fertilizer producer companies in the world and has close ties to Vladimir Putin, bought the yacht in 2014. The auction was hosted by the government of Antigua and Barbuda, which said on June 16 that Schmidt won in a fully transparent process. Gervais has an estimated net worth of around 4.8 billion, and Schmidt's fortune is valued at about 20 billion. Backside. Woo! So you got from man better man, from one that were at 4.8 to one that were at 20. Very nice.
Just like that.
Very, very nice.
That's right.
The yacht was notably made by the same company that built another vessel to capture headlines in recent times. Former Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos splashed the cash on a new 500 million mega yacht this year called Kourou. It is one of the tallest and longest ships in the world at 470 feet in length. Bezos and his glamorous fiancée Lauren Sanchez were recently spotted sharing a kiss on the expansive deck.
Yes, sir.
The Kourou is so massive it is also joined on its voyages by a second 75 million support yacht called the Aboina. So that is so big. Because in gains about the cutout.
That's right.
Mr. Bezos. Boats, smaller boats, jet skis, and helicopters. That's the end of the article. So, from what we're hearing, the Alfa Nero is highly priced. It is something to
to shout about, to feel good about.
Yeah.
Too bad we can't own it.
Well, why?
We can only sell it.
Boy, the owning that boat will come with a whole ton of dangers that I am not willing to partake of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they say Putin give yarders for wipe out the guy who had the coup against him last week.
That's right.
He said the FSB forgot to deal with it. You know, so how they can deal with it? Man, they don't even shoot you anymore. They just smear you with some of that nerve agent, nuclear fallout, byproducts. And you gone. Painful death.
Totally.
Lost all the hair, every part of your body. Your body just racked with pain. You can't hold on no food. You just
you're craving for.
Yeah, you just dry out.
You lose all that.
Yeah. So you really
great.
don't want too much to be associated with them. It's the only one nut I know in Antigua that is enough up and edge up to go deal with this boat, and that's the Prime Minister. This boat, as I said last week to you guys, I would have just told U.S. Virgin Islands or Puerto Rico, which you're closer to. Come take your boat, or some of our local captain and crew and our salesmen, yachtsmen, certainly can get it down to Puerto Rico at least. And we take it from there.
That's right.
You know? That is, as I said, the problem we have now, it's not of our own making. People are not listening to politics, and it's across the board on the main radio stations, it's across the board on social media and all social media platforms. It's a situation where you have other pressing concerns. Those who brought their family members to Antigua for the holidays they are taken up with getting them around and
yeah.
seeing family and
All that.
enjoying their vacation. I don't think they're gonna plunge right
No,
into
there are
protesting,
different priorities, man.
protesting
Different
over
priorities.
these issues, you know.
Yeah.
But it's a matter to me
Yeah.
that when the Antigans do come to their senses, middle of August, late August, I would just hope that the new term coming up, the court itself goes at the end of July, really, for the most part. Opens up, not the Magistrates Court, but the High Court. So I'm just,
When
yeah,
is it?
September. I think it's usually the second week or the middle of September. The court will start to function, have cases being heard, and so you can go up there for an injunction or some emergency. But in regards to the substantial
regular
matters
going on
going
in the
forward,
court,
it
yeah.
is really the middle of September that they'll have the opening of
Okay.
court. So
Yeah.
let us just hope by the time the court opens up that we
Oh,
don't
boy.
get saddled with this
What an institution.
hefty bill. And the only reason that is on our shoulders is just for incompetence and stupidity and thinking that you can go ahead
And
and
do whatever you
and
like.
feel you can do whatever you want to do.
Doesn't work like that.
You know?
No way.
Yeah, it's a sad circumstance, Nelly,
It
but
is. It is.
let us see how it plays out this week. Because tomorrow, on the 24 hours, the Prime Minister said you can get a big check.
Let's see.
You know, but the boat is
Yeah,
worth
yeah,
150 from what we say in 190 in 2014 or so to now depreciated, let us say,
Okay, 150.
or 150.
Yeah, we appreciate
And
that.
the value of that in cost and interest is what Antigua will have to pay if this lady, Garla Cox's daughter, wins the claim in the courts, or if some other individual case, seemed like if it was several owners, it wasn't just one person.